Welcome back to Patriot Network TV. Real quickly, we launched the website www.patriotnetworktv.com. That's your source. You can see the videos there, you can read our editorials there, and you can see the sources. Whenever I reference anything from here on out, the source will be there, either a PDF of it or a link to where to go to get it. So welcome to the new PatriotNetworkTV.com, our new website and our new web presence. We're so happy to have you here viewing, and we're so happy that you've been supporting us for so long. I want to talk real quickly today about an editorial that is in the Wall Street Journal. This is October 24th, 2011. It's written by William McGurn, who is a great mind, always has a good insight. And this is an editorial commemorating the 7 billionth person born on Earth. Now, I look at population through a different lens than a lot of people do. I don't see new humans as just another mouth to feed. I see them, as Mr. McGurn does, that they're minds, not mouths. They're the potential for new innovation, new invention, new procedures, new books, new movies, new thinking. Every baby that is born has only one question that they need to ask the rest of the world, and that is, what are you doing to make sure that God's great commandment of my personal freedom is transferred from God Almighty to me? In the Declaration of Independence, what do we say as Americans? We say that you are endowed by your Creator, by God Almighty, with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The only form of government and the only form of economic organization that allows you to maximize those, we've got to have a republic form of government. That is, we have to have a republic where it's representative, that's based on certain democratic procedures leading to the election of representatives. Not a pure democracy. Pure democracy is just mobocracy. It's just the mob. Representative government allows people the time for sober reflection away from their emotions. So the Declaration of Independence states that it is God's gift to man that you should be free, and states that you have certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Our view as small c conservatives, our view as libertarians, our view as people who see the world as having two questions. Are we free? Are we not free? If we're not free, how do we get free? If we are free, how do we stay free? Our view is that another baby clicking over the counter to 7 billion is a great thing, especially if that baby's born free, and especially if that baby is allowed to act on their God-given rights to be an innovator, an entrepreneur, a landowner, a profit maximizer, someone who owns property, someone who takes in a cash flow, buys a pool of wealth that generates over time its own cash flow. The magic of capitalism. Now, I want to tell you that one of the reasons that we at Patriot Network TV spend a fair amount of time debunking things like catastrophic human-caused global warming, or debunking that the U.S. only has 2% of the oil on Earth. One of the reasons we spend so much time on that is those are deliberate lies that are put in place by people who, at their core, are Malthusian. That is, they believe that man is the problem. The Malthusians believe that resources can be increased at best mathematically, but people reproduce geometrically, and you're already dead, you just don't know it. Well, that's not true. And I want to underscore this with one quick example, and I've used this before. For those of you who viewed me on this station, you know that I've said this in the past. When Steve Schneider and Paul Ehrlich came to the University of Montana when I was a freshman, and they spoke in the Harry Adams Fieldhouse, Ehrlich was selling his book, The Population Bomb. He claimed that that was 1971. He claimed by the year 2000 that the population of the Earth would be 12 billion. He only missed it by a factor of 2, by a magnitude of 2. It was 6 billion, not 12 billion. He said the number one health problem in America in the year 2000 would be starvation. In 2000, number one health problem was obesity, just missed it by a little. Schneider back then was a global cooler. He was talking about ice age coming, we're all gonna freeze to death, and then he became a global warmer. You gotta understand that the Malthusians, that the elitists, that the community organizers, that the Obamas, that the Democrat Party, that the liberal, that the progressive mind is all about controlling you. It is this basic distrust and dislike, this anti-egalitarian, anti-democratic, anti-republican form of government bias on the part of the American left, the progressive movement, that makes them impossible to deal with and makes them incompatible with a free republic. The essence of what Mr. Obama has done as president is to systematically violate your human rights granted to you from God Almighty: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And the more that you come to see the overall struggle, the farrago that is human life on earth, as always a question between, are you free? Are you not free? If you're not free, how do we get you free? If you are free, how do we keep you free? That's always the issue. As my friend Chris Horner likes to say, the issue's never the issue. The environmental movement comes to you, makes up horrible lies about CO2, and they do that to do what? To take away your property rights, take away your right to have an automobile, a house, a career, on and on and on. What we want you to see, and the reason I'm recommending this editorial to you, people are not the problem. People are the cure. Too many people is an oxymoron. There's no such thing as too many people. There could be too many unproductive people because they're trapped into a system that enslaves them, robs them of their freedom, robs them of their God-given rights. That could be a problem. They could be trapped in a system that is anti-freedom, that is distributes wealth through communism, through socialism. They could be in a fascistic system. They could be in a system that continually denies them their ability to be productive and free. Absent that, what is the condition of the human being? The condition of the human being, contrary to Hobbes, is not a life that's brutish, short, and cruel. People who own their own land, control their own destiny, and act as free agents are creators. They're not takers, they're makers. And the core change that we have to get is anytime somebody starts saying 7 billion's too many people, we have to say no. What's restrictive is socialism, communism, fascism, any attempt to restrict the human spirit and stop it from freedom. What did Browning say? A man's reach must exceed his grasp, or what else is a heaven for? With that as our cornerstone, with that as our motto, with that as our heart as we go forward, it's not about population, it's not about CO2, it's about freedom. God bless you. God bless the United States.